lab, which some of you have already started. Literally, I will go through this a little bit now. This is me booting up the lab. So let me just slide this over. You can change the size of this, depending on how blind you are. That's for me. So this is our jump host. So it's saying that that's in the environment. So really, we're logging into the jump host. We do next. So we hit the T box, which will automatically fill in that for us. And then we can log in. So if you've just booted your lab, you may have to wait a couple of minutes for it to start. And then next. And now it's asking us to log into the ESX server, because basically the machines we're using, the 3 machines we're going to use, are sitting in the ESX host as a virtual machine. So logging in there. And now we see key 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you follow through in the lab, it's basically going to ask you to start each of these machines up. So that will take a little bit of time. And then literally just go next, follow the next section, and you can just do your pings. Anything with a T box will automatically complete that line for you when you click in it. And literally just follow the steps all the way through, telling you, click here, log in again, open a browser so you get to see the Cohesity login, and its lookups to check that the node is okay. And then here is the first login to the Cohesity cluster. And this is where you choose the nodes you're going to add to the cluster. So this is the initial cluster setup. Then specify the information for your Active Directory domain, etc., subnet mask, the DNS server, NTP server, the name of the cluster. And then once you've done all those steps, this is the bit that will take a little bit of time, maybe 10 minutes or so to go through. But again, the banner will complete. And then once it's complete, you take 5-minute break. And then once it's done, you can refresh this connection. And then you'll get to see the cluster appear. And you'll log in with the admin username and password to start with. So admin. Confirm the license is okay. Then you join Helios. And then there's a count here to join Helios. So here you log in with the Helios LODS2 account. Once you've done that, you'll have to change your admin password. And here it's suggesting Cohesity123, make it easy. And now you have your cluster. So once you've got your cluster, you can have a look around your environment. So I just wanted to show you that with each of these nodes. So let me just do a power on. And I copied it for that node. And same for the other nodes. And we might get a quick demo of something towards the end of the lecture, now that that is coming up. Okay. Anyone have any questions on the lab at this point?
Not yet.
Not yet. You haven't done it yet. That's fine. Now the traditional scale-up architecture basically is siloed versions or siloed islands of the hardware. Now, even with vendors who support clusters of systems, your customers are riddled with limitations and boundaries of scale in the environment. Now, storage vendors continue to compete based on who can jam the most CPU memory and storage into a single system. And customers are faced with eventual forklift upgrades and large data migrations as the platform reach their limits or go end of life. So with my old employer, shall we say, upgrading one of their appliances literally meant you had to spend 5 to 10 days moving the data across to a new appliance before you could remove the old one. Now, for Cohesity, because it's software-defined web-scale platform, you can now grow without disruption. So non-disruptively upgrade with unbound scale. Now, we give the customers the ability to grow the compute and storage independently at an incremental scale. So it isn't necessary to jam everything into a single silo. So really what can happen is you can add your new cluster to your environment in the Cohesity environment and remove the old nodes from it. And Cohesity just keeps running. So literally, as you expand, you add the node and we'll start using it. And then you say, okay, this node's old. I want to remove it. You specify that in Cohesity, and then you can remove the node. Now, in Cohesity, we can directly upgrade from the cluster interface through the APIs or through the Helios multi-cluster upgrade. Now, that's a rolling upgrade across all the nodes of the cluster. Now, all the nodes must be the same software release. How do you do this? Well, you download the software package from Cohesity. You run your pre-upgrade checks. Then you basically deploy the software to a spare partition. And then you stop the services. Now, if you don't know Cohesity is a load of geeks, the names of some of these services will get you. Athena, Groot, Groot. Magneto, Bridge Proxy, SMB2 Proxy, SMB Proxy Alert Stats. There's also Yoda, there's Gandalf, Athena we've got there as well. We have Apollo. Iris is also one of the services. Iris is to do with the interfaces. So Iris is the GUI and the command line interface, also known as Iris CLI for that reason. So once you've done the upgrade, you basically just do a cutover and restart all the services, and then it will move automatically to the next node of the cluster. So literally just do an upgrade and it will do it all for you. As I said, software upgrades on Cohesity clusters are non-disruptive. Now, this is if you've got a single node cluster for the remote edition cluster. And customers can always deploy the long-term support release. Customers can be whitelisted for feature releases on a case-by-case basis. So for version 7, if you wanted to go up to 7 now, you'd have to be approved to go to version 7. But 6.8.1, which is currently in LTS, you can upgrade to with no problem at all. Now, other considerations for upgrades. What do you need to think about? Well, single node cluster upgrades for Cloud Edition clusters should be run when the upgrade will have the least usage impact, because single clusters, we are going to restart the cluster and it will be down because, well, it's a single node. For replication environments, for maximum throughput while upgrading in a replication environment where we're replicating from one Cohesity node to another, we recommend upgrading the receiving clusters before the transmitting cluster. However, the upgrade can occur in any order without any data loss, but we do recommend you do the receiving cluster first. If you're doing bidirectional, then it doesn't really matter. Now, to get the upgrade package, what do you need to do? Well, you go to mycohesity.com, log in, go to the support page, and then go to download the Cohesity software. And then you can copy the package upgrade link, or you can actually download the package. Now, if you copy the link, that's fine. When you do the cluster upgrade, it will ask you for the link, or it will ask you for the package. If you give it the link, then it's going to download it at that point. If you've already downloaded the package, then it's going to upload the package from your system, whichever one is better for you. Now, for the Iris CLI, if you want to see what's going on, you're logging into Iris CLI. You can do Iris CLI, then the name of the user and the password to log in. You can do then cluster status to get to see the cluster information. So here we just want to check that the cluster heal status is normal and any process IDs aren't actually missing. So here we have all the service names and we have process IDs for all the services. And we can look at the cluster info to check what's going on. Now, the actual upgrade itself also does these checks. So it's really you checking before you do an upgrade, then the upgrade checks as well. Now, before you do the upgrade, you need to make sure that the cluster can be upgraded to the current version. The pre-cluster checks basically will check the cluster upgrade validations. These are added to avoid any undesirable upgrades causing any cluster disruption. And you should always review the upgrade compatibility from the Cohesity docs site. Now here on the cluster, we've logged in. So we are now under settings, then upgrade. We can see the version we're running. Now this is downloaded. We are currently running 651F, but we want to go to 660D in this case. It's currently downloaded and we can click upgrade to upgrade it. If it wasn't downloaded, then we could say get new package. We would then either specify the link to download it from, or we would put the link to the package we already have downloaded and it's stored on the disk, USB, etc. on the machine we're on. To kick off the upgrade, what do we need to do? Well, you click upgrade. And then you get to see the current version of the software and the patch version. And as you do the upgrade, obviously that will upgrade. So here's the get package example. So we get the new package. Again, we provide the download URL, or we specify the link, the location of the package itself. And here we can do download and upgrade at the same time if you want to, or we can just download only. What this really is going to do is upload it to the Cohesity cluster itself, so it's available to all the nodes in the cluster. Once you're doing the upgrade, you can monitor the upgrade to see what's going on. So here, again, we're downloading the packages. And then the upgrade is started. Now, if the upgrade itself seems to hang for a while, then you can view the status from the command line. So log in to the command line and then cluster get upgrade status, and you get to see what's going on. So here, the current software version has upgraded false. Current software version, again, false. We've done the same command. Now it's coming to true, and we have the 660D release installed. And then once the cluster upgrade in progress says false, then we are upgraded. If you want to apply patches, now the patch field will only ever display if you've actually patched the cluster itself. So what you can do is go to mycohesity.com support, then downloads, and download the patch. So these are the patches available. You can copy over the file to the cluster. So here, basically with support account, and you should always review the latest patch instructions from the Cohesity download site. Now, once you've done the upgrade, there is a post-install checklist you need to review and install the project closure document to look at that as well, to just have those two documents ready, all from Cohesity docs.
I have a question regarding the lab.
Yes.
I've launched the lab, but it asks me for a password.
Yes.
I've tried Cohesity 123 exclamation mark and.
Okay, you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Ignore this bit in the middle for a second. So here it's saying log in. Just go next. So Cohesity 123.
Okay.
If you click the field in the Linux login and then click the T, it will complete it for you. Then you click the arrow to log in.
Great, thanks.
I'll wait for you to say it logged in okay.
Yep, it did.
Good. Easier.
Yep, thank you.
You're welcome. And all the passwords are there. Now, under resources, you get to see passwords as well that you might need. So they're here as well. Now, today, tomorrow, if you get stuck in the lab, I can log in and I can view your lab and I can help you. After today, you've got 6 months with the lab, as I said. If you then go to help and you say submit a support request here, that will open a support case for you. And then someone from either Learn on Demand, if it's a lab problem, as in the environment, will contact you. If it's a Cohesity lab issue, from one of our instructors will contact you to help you out on that one. The lab needs to be open for us to do a remote access to your lab so we can see what's going on. Okay? Any questions? Any comments?
I just wanted to ask one thing, and that is like other webinars we are joining in Cohesity, we do get a recorded session. For this one, will we get it?
No recording for this.
Oh, okay. That's it.
Yeah. Having said that, okay, there is no recording. That's a fact. What I have done in the meantime, where is it? Where did I put it? Let me just move this screen over a second. Okay, in the lab screen itself, I promised I would do this. If you look at the bottom, you get to see the installation PDF of all the slides, and the demo videos are also loaded here as well that you can click on and download. Okay, so you get those. I did promise they would be there by the end of the lecture for today, and I kept my promise. They will be available for about 6 months in that link. After that, if you haven't downloaded them, they will disappear automatically from this site. Okay. So before I sign off the Zoom for today, any last questions? If you have any lab issues, I'm just going to bring up